Something very interesting happened this week. Something very foundational, so important that it affects every single person that you can think of. Because of that program, we have more DJs. Because of that program, we have more graphic artists. Because of that program, we have more web developers and web designers. Industries that were not tapped into before are being tapped into because the Saint Lucia Labour Party has brought back the One Laptop Per Child program. We're going to run a quick clip that the Choice Television did broadcast earlier, and we're going to get your thoughts on that when we come back.
Over 2,000 students will benefit from the Ministry of Education's laptop program as the disbursement to all secondary schools began on Thursday. The target group for the rollout are the present second formers and incoming Form 1 students. The new Form 2 students will be the next set of beneficiaries come September 2022. Nisha Charles tells us more.
A critical tool in the instructional process for students is being distributed to students across the island. While the former government chose to distribute ebooks to assist students at schools, the current administration has chosen to revert to its own style of equipping students with devices, laptop devices. The program, which was stopped under the last administration, was reinstated when the SLP administration resumed office, and on Thursday was rolled out to various schools across the island. Education Minister Honorable Sean Edward called it a momentous occasion, not only for the Ministry of Education, but for the government of Saint Lucia.
Prior to the elections, on the campaign trail, we did commit to the reinstatement of the laptop program, and today we are in a position to deliver on that promise. So we have procured and are distributing in excess of 2,000 laptops to the Form 2 students in the secondary school system. We started this morning in District 2, where we had a ceremony involving the schools, secondary schools in that district. The parliamentary rep was in attendance, likewise the education officer and the principals of the various secondary schools in District 2. Then we moved to the Leones Comprehensive. This was followed by a mini ceremony at the Clinton Mason Memorial in Denry, and now we are at the District 6 office in Vieux-Fort, where we are making our presentation or handing laptops to the students of the Binfield Secondary and the Vieux-Fort Comprehensive Secondary School.
According to the minister, the government has spent in excess of $2 million procuring laptops for students. Honorable Edwards says they are on target with the scheduled disbursements.
We are basically making good, as I said, on the commitment that we would have given not just to the students of our school system, but to the entire country. And it really is another demonstration of our appreciation for the role that ICT plays in education. Those laptops are not being given because they are fashionable, but we see a laptop, we see a device as a very critical instructional aid and instructional tool in the whole learning and teaching process.
He said the laptops will form part of an integrated approach to ICTs, which will factor in content and connectivity.
We're working on content at the moment. That is critical. It is one thing to have the device, but the requisite content is equally important. But for the time being, students who would not have had access to a computer at home to do their work, who would not have had connectivity, that is an issue that we're also working on. So, to complement the island-wide Wi-Fi program that we would have started many, many years ago, where students would have been able to tap into hotspots just for internet connectivity with the service providers, namely Flow and Digital. I know the minister responsible for telecommunications, he has been able to broker an agreement where in excess of 5,000 households in Saint Lucia will benefit from bundle packages that would grant internet access and other digital services to families that otherwise would not have been able to access those on their own. So it's a work in progress, but I'm very happy with where we are at this particular juncture, and I look forward to distributing even more devices in the months to come.
Several handing over ceremonies took place at the education district level, with Ministry of Education officials, respective parliamentary representatives, district education officers, principals, and students in attendance.
Saint Lucia, before we get Dr. Hilaire's opinion on this, I want you to listen to this next clip because I saw some very interesting persons attending the ceremony for the laptop distribution. And there have been a lot of questions surrounding the value of the laptops, and there have been some comparisons as to whether ebooks are more sustainable or better functioning than laptops. Of course, I want to put it on the record, for the record, that I believe that that is absolutely silly, for want of a better word, that there's even a thought from the former administration that the ebooks are better than laptops. But let's take a listen and you'll hear it for yourself.
Go to the ebooks. Mr. Deputy President, I was taken aback. I was appalled. I was dumbfounded when I listened to Senator Polius this morning. For a while, I was wondering whether this was the same education system that I worked with as a principal, as an education officer. Mr. Vice President, I heard of the expansion of the laptop program, and I'm still wondering whether I know what expansion means. If the senator speaks of expansion, what I know, and I was in the system, is that there was a pilot project in Form 3. That's right. Not all the secondary schools were involved. In fact, we don't pilot all schools. So it was some schools. There were myriad problems with that project. And I will tell you a few that I know because I was there. There was a disconnect with the facts. Okay? Apparently the senator may have got her information wrongly. Because there were problems with the alignment of the curriculum with those ebooks. They were cheap, substandard ebooks. And just opposite my office, there's a room full of ebooks. To this day, the technicians cannot fix them. And this is the truth, the whole truth. We had to pay millions of dollars in insurance that the Ministry of Education can ill afford for the ebooks. Let me inform the senator that we have procured better quality devices that are superior to the ebooks. How could an ebook be better than a laptop when students can download the ebook reader from a laptop?
Dr. Hilaire, I read a press release from the former Prime Minister, who is the leader of the opposition, who obviously had a member of his cabinet come out and say on a political platform that there's no value in a laptop. He attended the laptop distribution program. He was there holding the laptop with a student. He came and he said he will do anything that requires him showing support for the constituents of Miku South. And in the same breath said that he was disappointed in the Saint Lucia Labour Party government for stopping the ebook program. Yeah. Your thoughts?
I think every time you listen to the former Prime Minister, he reminds you more and more of somebody who seemed to be lost in his own reality. Mm-hmm. That, I mean, he sometimes, and you listen to him in Parliament now that he's in opposition, and you really wondered if he even remembered he was Prime Minister and all that he did. Because he cannot seem to accept that he was the worst Prime Minister we ever had in the history of St. Lucia, and that he was soundly defeated at the last elections. And this situation with the laptop just reinforces the view that he has a warped sense of reality. So there you have a laptop program which was initiated by the former Labour Party government. It was stopped. They asked the question, what gain is there in having laptops? What gain is there in having laptops? And of course, you heard the Caledonian said, Kigainasa was replaced by Jeremiah. We probably told you how telling that statement was on her political fortunes. And replaced it with an e-book program. Now, just reflect what the e-book program was about. The cost of the device was more than the cost of a laptop. each device, each ebook costed more than a laptop, did not have all the functions of a laptop. So on your laptop, you could have Excel, PowerPoint, you could have all the different functions and things you can do.
course.
You cannot do that on the ebook. Yet it costs more.
Oh,
It was not as durable as a laptop. So unlike the senator said, they broke easily, they were damaged easily.
a whole room.
So they costed more, less functions, less durability. And then, when to use it, they realize we cannot use it. We have to pay a fee for each laptop to be able to access what's on the ebook. So every year, although you've bought a device more than what a laptop costs, you have to pay an annual license fee to access what's on it.
And I heard that's about $2 million?
Yeah, I mean, over $2 million a year. And then thirdly, what's on it, the information, the different courses, and is not what CXC requires the children to follow. So there you have an ebook
Wow.
that is more expensive, less functional, less durable, and you have to pay a license fee to access the information on it. And then the information it has on it is not even what CX is asking children to follow.
A complete waste.
A complete waste. And then yet you want to defend that this was better for St. Lucians than they getting a laptop. I mean, explain that to me. So even today, when he's been asked to be part of the laptop distribution program, he's there, and he's saying, you know, okay, I'll be part of it, whatnot. But you know what? The ebooks I had was much better than this laptop.
And just to say it for saying
Just
sake.
to say it for saying sake. Cannot come to terms with the fact that they made a fundamental error. Set this country back 5 years in this regard. Wow. And now we have to get back on course. Doesn't have the magnanimity to say that, you know, we made an error on this one and we're glad you all brought it back.